So you want toned arms, but you're scared to lift weights because you're convinced you'll turn into Mr. Olympia. And honestly, if you don't train and eat properly, yeah, you might. Just kidding. Becoming Ronnie Coleman is literally a full-time job. The man did not accidentally wake up like that. But girl, if you do the wrong thing, your arms can end up looking bulkier than you want. One thing I can promise you though, is that you'll not turn into a man if you lift weights. So today we're talking about the fear of getting bulky arms, what toned actually means, and the truth about heavy versus light weights. And stick around because I will be showing you the 7 exercises you need to do for the next 30 days to get defined, sculpted arms. Let's get into it. Okay, there's a jacked elephant in the weights room, and we need to talk about it. Girl, I'm not here to sugarcoat things, but the bulk fear is real. Some women do pick up heavier weights and notice their arms get bigger. I'm not here to deny that. The explanation for it, though, is not what you think. When you start training heavier, your muscles begin storing more glycogen and water to fuel the increased demand. So your arms can feel bigger and more solid within the first few weeks of proper training. This is temporary, and it is absolutely not the same thing as bulking up. But because nobody ever explains this, women feel their arms changing, immediately assume the worst, drop the weights, and spend the next 6 months doing arm circles for 45 minutes wondering why their arms look like they've never touched a dumbbell. Girl, stop playing yourself like that. We physiologically do not have enough testosterone in our bodies to make us look like we belong on the cover of a bodybuilding magazine. Okay, let's get into this whole toned shebang. When it comes to your muscles, you have 2 options: grow or shrink them. That's it. There's no secret third setting called toned, where your muscles magically get firmer without changing size. So what are girls actually talking about when they say they want toned arms? It means they want visible muscle definition, like all those cuts in the bicep, tricep, and delts, low body fat in that area, and minimal muscle size. You need some muscle to see that definition, but you don't need biceps that look like you're about to enter an arm wrestling championship. Now, here's where heavy weights come in. When you lift heavy, we're talking 6 to 12 reps, where the last few reps feel impossible, you're triggering something called hypertrophy. That's the scientific term for muscle growth, and that's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. For some women, especially in the arms, this response is strong. However, for most women, visible cuts appear between 18 to 22% of body fat. If you have a higher body fat percentage, you can do all the bicep curls in the world and you won't see definition. To unveil the sculpted muscle underneath, you need to get rid of the fat. The goal is to build muscle while bringing your body fat down at the same time through a calorie deficit. So, which one actually builds defined arms? Heavy or light weights? The answer is both. Research shows that heavy weights for lower reps and lighter weights for higher reps produce essentially the same muscle growth, as long as you train close to failure. And by failure, I do not mean, this is uncomfortable, I'd like to stop. I mean your face is about to explode because you're straining so much and that last rep feels like a fight for survival. Because fatigue and failure are not the same thing. Fatigue is when your arms are shaking and burning. Failure is when the muscle genuinely cannot complete another rep. That's what you need to gain muscle. Now here is the cheat sheet. 1 to 6 reps with heavy weight builds raw strength and power. 15 plus reps with lighter weight builds endurance. And the 6 to 12 rep range with moderate weight is the sweet spot for building the muscle definition most of us are after. If you train light and never push past fatigue to actual failure, you will drop body fat and have nothing underneath to show for it. Your arms will look like overcooked spaghetti. Give your body a reason to adapt. Okay, here are the 7 exercises you should try for the next 30 days, 2 to 3 times per week. The only thing you need are 2 dumbbells, consistency, and the ability to ignore your arms yelling at you. Exercise 1, bent over row. Start with this one because it targets your back and biceps at the same time. Your elbows should stay close to your body, not flaring out like you're trying to take flight. Exercise 2, bicep curl. This one is a classic. The key here is keeping your elbows stationary. They shouldn't be swinging back and forth like you're conducting an orchestra. Control the movement, especially on the way down. Exercise 3, shoulder press. This one is essential for building defined, rounded shoulders. Keep your core engaged so you're not arching your back to compensate. This exercise will make your shoulders burn in the best way possible. Exercise 4, upright row. This one is a killer for shoulder definition, but make sure you're not shrugging your shoulders up to your ears. Keep them nice and relaxed. Exercise 5, front raise. These isolate the front of your shoulders for clean definition. No swinging, no using momentum, just slow, controlled lifts. If your shoulders aren't on fire by the third set, you're probably doing it wrong. Exercise 6, lateral raise. This exercise is deceptively simple, but absolutely soul-destroying by the final set. Your shoulders will be screaming, but that's how you know it's working. Exercise 7, overhead tricep extension. This one targets the back of your arms, where most of that arm flab lives. Keep your elbows close together throughout the movement instead of letting them drift apart. If you go light somewhere between 2 to 4 kilograms, aim for 15 to 25 reps per exercise or push until failure. If you go heavier, do 10 to 12 reps of each exercise for 4 circuits with a minute's rest between each circuit. Add reps or increase weight each week and watch those arms get sculpted. Also, I really want you to channel your inner gym bro and look at yourself in the mirror while you do these exercises. I know, but trust me, it helps keep your form in check. We are not going to spend long here because nutrition is its own video, but there are 2 things you need to know and neither of them are negotiable. 1. You cannot spot reduce fat. Doing bicep curls does not burn arm fat. Doing tricep extensions does not burn arm fat. Fat loss is a full body process, and your genetics decide the order it comes off. You do not get a vote. What you do get is the ability to create the conditions where fat loss happens across your whole body, and eventually, it will come off your arms too. Those conditions are a slight calorie deficit, 200 to 300 calories below what your body burns daily. No crash diets, no miserable restriction, just enough to tip the balance toward fat loss while preserving the muscle you are building. 2. Protein. Around 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight daily. This is what keeps your muscles intact while the fat comes down. Without enough protein in a deficit, your body starts breaking down muscle for fuel, which is the exact opposite of building sculpted arms. That is it. Train hard enough to build muscle. Eat in a slight deficit with adequate protein. Give it time and the definition will come. If this video hasn't convinced you to lift weights, then Queen, I don't know what to say to you other than give it a try. If you want to build a solid foundation before adding load, my calisthenics basics video is right here. Start there, come back here, and build something that actually lasts.